So I guess it's safe to say that winter is basically over, man. And to be honest with you, I'm super pumped. Typically, while I don't always enjoy winter that much, I gotta admit, this past winter wasn't too bad. I discovered a lot of great new winter fragrances that I really enjoyed. Typically in the past, I don't buy too many fragrances in the wintertime just because they really weren't my thing. I was more into fresh fragrances, so I would just kind of hold off, just kind of wore a few sweet fragrances that I had, and that was about it. But you guys know me, you know I always tell you to try to get out of your comfort zone and try new things. And hey, I'd be a hypocrite if I was telling you guys to do that and I wasn't doing the same. So what did I do? I really made it a point to try to discover and try new things over the winter. And like I said, I'll be honest, I discovered a lot of great new fragrances that I would have never tried before. A few of them now have made it into my top personal favorites, and a lot of them made it into my rotation where I was wearing them a lot. And even now I still do when we have some cooler days. So again, I had a great winter discovering new things. Hopefully you guys discovered some new things as well. But we're finally here into spring for the most part. We've been getting some 50, 55 degree days, on occasion up to 60 or so. So I'm super thrilled for that. I'm excited to start breaking out some fresher fragrances. Those of you who don't know, a starting lineup is where I give you 7 different fragrances. Each one is going to be for a specific occasion. So I'm going to be going over my signature scent, my casual fragrance, my work fragrance, my date fragrance, my night out fragrance, my formal fragrance, and then finally my high performance outdoor fragrances. So again, that's going to be 7 here right off the bat that I'm going to go over, each for a different occasion. Of course, after this, I will release my top 10 spring fragrances, and that's going to be a video all on its own, and it's going to feature a lot of fragrances that may be different than the ones in here. So you're going to want to tune in for that video as well. This just kind of gives you an idea of what I've been wearing here recently, kind of working into spring, and then once we get full on into spring, I'm going to kind of push out my list, which has, in my opinion, some of the best spring smelling fragrances. So you're going to want to make sure you get subscribed and stay tuned for that. So enough of that, enough talking. I hope you're ready to get into this. I know I am. My signature scent for spring so far is going to be L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. Is this a basic choice? Yeah, maybe. I'm not going to lie to you guys. L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. It's been around, right? This line is very popular. L'Homme, La Nuit de l'Homme, they're everywhere. I get it. But it's in here for a reason. I love the fragrance. I really do. And I'm actually wearing it today. I sprayed it on about 8-9 hours ago, and I can still smell it off of myself. I got a little bit on my hoodie, which is probably where that's coming from. When you spray your clothes, you get some more longevity out of it. So I've been catching whiffs even now. It smells incredible. I love this fragrance. I get this nice apple, ginger, spiciness with a little bit of a sweetness as well. It's a gentleman's fragrance all the way through. If I had to name one fragrance that just smells like a gentleman, it's L'Homme. And I do want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what your signature scent for spring is going to be. I also want to hear all of your other categories. What's going to be your night out scent? What's going to be your date scent? Let me know down below in the comments. And of course, all the links to these fragrances that I talk about will be linked down below in the description so you can check them out. And now let's move into my casual fragrance. My casual fragrance, of course, is going to be Spice Bomb Fresh, or I believe it's Spice Bomb Fresh, but I believe it's Spice Bomb Eau Fraiche, like on Fragrantica. So we'll roll with both of them. It doesn't really matter. Who cares? It's the Spice Bomb with the frosted glass bottle. This stuff is awesome. It has that Spice Bomb Eau de Toilette DNA, but with a fresher citrus take, and you still do get that pepper in there, but it's kind of freshened up. It's really easy to describe here, and the name speaks for itself. It's a fresher version of Spice Bomb. That's really all there is to it. It's really, really nice stuff, and it may sound boring. You may be like, why do you need that? But when you smell this stuff, you know exactly what I mean. It's incredible. You do get hit with that intoxicating Spice Bomb Eau de Toilette DNA. It's in there, and you can smell it. It smells great, but the nice freshness that this one conveys is awesome. I really, really love Spice Bomb Fresh. I'm super glad that I ended up pulling the trigger on this. I've wanted this fragrance for a very long time. These Viktor and Rolf fragrances are always expensive, even on discounters. Again, that link will be down below if it is in stock to the lowest price you can get, but they're still going to be $80, $90. I believe sometimes like some of the Spice Bombs are pushing $100 at discount. They're expensive, so I always put it off, but I wanted to get this one and I have it, and it's going to be my casual fragrance for spring. Awesome stuff here. Still has that playful vibe, which is why I like it for casual wear. Nothing that I would wear for formal, nothing that I'd wear on a date or anything like that, hence why it's at my casual spot. Spice Bomb Eau Fraiche, Spice Bomb Fresh, whatever you want to call it. Awesome stuff here. Moving up next, we've got L'Homme Ultime. Now, I love this fragrance so much because it's the epitome of a spring fragrance to me. You get this rose and ginger combination, but what you also get is this nice, fresh, and vibrant citrus. And you would be surprised at how this one opens up. Just smelling it here in the air. It's got such a juicy, like fresh citrus, effervescent quality going on. But in the dry down, again, you get that ginger, you get that rose, you get something sweeter and more refined. So it's really a nice combination here. That's why I think it works perfect for spring. You want something with some depth and some substance, and that's what this fragrance is. You know, guys, I love my summer fragrances. They're mostly citrus. They don't have a whole lot going on. They're super simplistic, and they work great in the heat. But I also do really love spring fragrances like this, with some depth, with some character. That's exactly what this one is. It is an EDP concentration, and even though it is from the L'Homme line, which, I mean, let's be honest here, none of them really perform that well. I mean, none are beast mode fragrances. I get moderate performance out of it. It performs better than L'Homme on my skin and also La Nuit de L'Homme, but not by much. It's not a beast, so don't get that twisted, but it's still, you know, it gets the job done. And for how unique this is, in my opinion, and how special it really is, I love it. It's great for my work fragrance. And next here we have my date fragrance. Now, I was going back and forth with this one, and this was actually the last fragrance that I picked out for this list. I really had a tough time deciding what I wanted it to be. However, I've eventually made my mind up here. This one is Dolce & Gabbana The One Eau de Toilette concentration. So you could put the EDP in here, but I'm going with the Eau de Toilette simply because it is a bit lighter. This is where it all started, and honestly, guys, you know how I feel about the One EDP. Obviously, see, my atomizer on this one is kind of weird. Dolce & Gabbana The One, I'm not going to tell you how it smells. You probably know. You're probably tired of hearing about it. I know I am, but I'm not tired of smelling it. I love smelling this fragrance. It's incredible. Again, lighter than the EDP. It doesn't perform that good. The EDP doesn't really perform that good either. It is what it is. I don't care, and you don't need great performance for a date. I mean, come on, guys. A couple hours, really all you're going to need before you head back to your place. You can reapply there, hopefully, and then you're good to go. Not a big deal. So, again, performance, I do wish it performed better, obviously, but I'm not going to rag on it too much. With the scent that smells this good, I don't care. You can get these 5-ounce bottles for, like, pretty affordable. I mean, it only makes sense to get the 5-ounce if you're going to get the Eau de Toilette. You're paying less than $50, I believe, for this size bottle. So I would say spring for it. Pick it up. It's a great date fragrance. Dolce & Gabbana The One. Up next here at my night out fragrance, we have Armani Code A-List. So a flanker that I don't hear too much talk about, but I really enjoy. This one is an orange and tonka bean based fragrance. Does smell quite a bit like the original Armani Code, but what I do like is the orange that you get from this fragrance. The orange and the tonka bean coming together, it smells incredible. I really like it. You get that nice creamy orange mixing with the tonka bean, so it's sweet, it's a little bit fresh. It smells great. Is it generic? Yeah, I mean, it is a generic fragrance. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing that's going to blow your mind. But for a night out fragrance, you don't want that. I mean, we're looking at stuff like Versace Eros, Ultra Male, whatever else I have over there that I don't want to stare off too much and weird you out by not looking at the camera. You get the point here. For a night out fragrance, you're not looking to be super unique or creative. You're looking for something that's sweet and that's going to be mass appealing, and this is what that fragrance is. Armani Code A-List gets good performance too, better than you would expect. So I would say give this one a shot. Not too much talk on this one, but I really do like it. If you want a good night out fragrance for spring, this one is one you should definitely consider. On to my formal fragrance. I'm excited, guys. I'm really, really, really excited. Tom Ford Italian Cypress. This, you know, I'm not going to tell you. Well, I will tell you this. Spoiler alert. Doing a video on 10 fragrances that blew my mind. This one is one of them. When I first smelled this fragrance, it was a blind buy. Of course, you know me, I like my blind buys. I blind bought this fragrance because it looked interesting to me. When I smelled it the first time, it made me go, wow. Like I was verbally like, whoa, that smells incredible. And I don't react like that at all when I smell fragrances. At this point, I've smelled so many things. A lot of what I buy is repetitive and kind of smells similar because, well, that's what I do here on the channel. I try to review as many new things as I can, and that's kind of how a lot of new releases are. Kind of all smell the same. It takes a lot to impress me nowadays. But this fragrance really did that for me. It made me like go, wow. It made me question, what is that? That is beautiful. So I really enjoy this fragrance. And for a formal fragrance, it fits the bill perfectly. It's such an upscale, classy, gentleman, masculine fragrance here. It's incredible stuff. It really is. I could have put a few other ones in this spot, not only just from the Tom Ford Private Blend, but also just from my collection in general. But this one I think is incredible, and it's perfect for spring as well. That nice cypress note, which I do think is obviously suitable for spring here. It's awesome stuff. This is, of course, from their Reserve collection. So originally it was in their just regular Tom Ford Private Blend collection. They discontinued it, re-released it in the Reserve collection with that nice gold plaque or gold plate here raised. As you can see, it looks really cool. I much prefer that over the standard Private Blend, which is the stickers. It looks awesome. It's great stuff. Highly recommend you check this one out if you're a fan of Tom Ford fragrances or their Private Blend and you like kind of aromatic, fougere-ish, masculine type fragrances. Check this one out. It's credible. Incredible. I mean, it is credible, but it's also incredible. That's what I meant. And finally, the last spot we have here is my High Performance Outdoors fragrance. So this one's pretty self-explanatory. This is something when I want a fragrance that is really going to project and really going to last a long time for any sort of outdoor events that I may go to or just do in the springtime. In the springtime, I do like to get outdoors just because I do like the kind of cool weather. It's a little bit chilly, but also getting warm from the sun. I like to go outside in the spring. It's just fun to me. So I do want to pick a fragrance that is going to cut through the air. Typically, it's pretty windy. I want something that's going to cut through so I can smell it and so everyone else can smell it. Fragrance I chose for this one was YSL Y EDP. It performs really strong, way better than I originally thought. This stuff doesn't mess around, so that's really cool. It's a generic fragrance. I get it. I know. That's fine. It does what it's supposed to do really well. It performs great, which is why it made it in this spot. And again, this one has a little bit of a sweetness to it, which I look for in my spring fragrances. So that's what we're going to be ending the video on today. High Performance Outdoors YSL Y EDP. I love this stuff. There's something weird actually floating in my bottle. I just noticed. What is that? Is that loading? Hopefully that shows up on camera. There's a weird fuzzy thing floating inside my bottle, like legit. Okay. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me. That was my spring starting lineup. Let me know yours down below in the comments. If you want to pick any of these up, check them out in the description down below. That's going to do it for me, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night with another one. Take care.